92.3 Nigeria Info.
Mental health is real, seek help, and the stigma. On the news this evening, 2 persons lay claim to Rivers ADC chairmanship position. Recently freed inmate arrested for armed robbery in Diobu, Port Harcourt. Experts react to plan by Rivers administrator to revitalize agricultural facilities. Senate President Akpabio removes Senator Natasha as committee chairperson. And on the foreign scene, British Prime Minister Starmer, France President Macron unveil new migrant deal. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break.
When in dire need of assistance or help within Rivers State, please contact the Rivers Emergency Service with the following numbers: 0904 022 2281 or 0904 022 2283 or 0904 022 2285. These lines are for emergencies only. Call only when you're in need of assistance. Thank you.
This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. There seems to be uncertainty over who the authentic chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Rivers State is. While Mr. Leader Samson claims he is the party's chairman in the state, another name, Mr. Ode Lawrence, was listed in a document allegedly released by the party's national leadership. Speaking on the matter, the ADC spokesman in Rivers State, Luckyman Igali, insisted that the party is not divided. He said Leader Samson remains the recognized chairman in the state. Igali explained that Ode Lawrence is actually the party's vice chairman, but was made acting chairman temporarily while some cases involving chairman and the national leadership were in court.
ADC in Rivers State is stuck in disarray, and the list that some persons claim that emanated from the National Secretariat has not been confirmed by the National Secretariat. In Rivers State, the chairman of African Democratic Congress in Rivers State is Ambassador Leader Samson. Ode Lawrence is the vice chairman of ADC Rivers State, who has been acting as a chairman for the coalition took place. A month before the coalition, Ambassador Leader Samson was brought back as chairman because this chairman and the national came in agreement, and all court cases were withdrawn from court, and the chairman were reinstated.
He added that the South-South leader of the party's coalition will soon meet with key stakeholders to settle the issue and carry everyone along. But Ode Lawrence insists he's still the chairman of the ADC in Rivers State until a proper Congress is held.
I was deputy chairman when we were elected. And when these guys were suspended and expelled, based on the party constitution, I had to assume office as the state chairman. Those documents that you are seeing there, they were pardoned by the party just a few months ago. And it was done for this coalition to come up. It does not say they should come back and remain as a chairman. As of today, I remain the chairman of ADC Rivers State. These are persons that were expelled from the party that were just pardoned some months ago. Is that possible to come back and lead the party again? As a party, we remain on board until congresses are conducted.
Meanwhile, our correspondent has seen a document showing a court settlement between the ADC national leadership and some state chairmen. The document includes names of those reinstated, and Leader Samson's name was among them. Moving on, one of the suspects recently released from prison, Prince Obunna, has been arrested for alleged armed robbery by the Diobu vigilante group. Commander of the group, Amatari Bipalaide, told our correspondent that Obunna was arrested in the early hours of Tuesday along Ikwe Road, linking Sangana by the railway in Diobu. He was allegedly robbing women heading to the early morning market when the vigilante team moved in. Bipelaide said Ogbonna and 3 others took to their heels on sighting the vigilante operatives, but Ogbonna was caught while the others escaped. A rifle with a double magazine and 38 rounds of ammunition were reportedly recovered from him. He has since been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution.
Prince Ogbonna, who just came back from prison on Tuesday, 8 July 2025, 5 a.m. this morning, with his gang member, was robbing residents of Diop, precisely Kure Road, linking Sangana through the railway. Diop vigilante in a routine patrol this morning to that area engaged Prince Ogbonna and his gang in their act robbing women going to market. 3 of the gang members escaped, while Prince Ogbonna was apprehended with recovery of the rifle carrying double magazine with 38 ammunitions. Suspect Prince Ogbonna with rifle carrying double magazine and 38 ammunitions all have been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution.
Commander Bipelaide assured residents of the group's continued commitment to community safety and security.
The vigilante assured residents of Diop that all trying to breach the security architecture of Diop that has existed hitherto will be brought to book. The era of running after committing crime is over. It's better you do not commit the crime because we will surely apprehend you.
Meanwhile, the suspect has confessed to the crime and pleaded for forgiveness.
I was in the prison since 2020. They released me on the 7th of this month. So I come out. This morning I was about to pass in that area and I saw some boy. That day I was talking to me. Although I know the boys there, I don't know that they come out to come and rob. So as I just passed, then I flash me touch, asked me where I'm going. Tell her I want to go to Flyover. Where we are talking there, I now saw the Diop vigilante men flashing torch in our back. So they are now run away and throw away gun in the ground. So they now come and catch me and with the rifle. I promise that I know where I will get those boys. I'm begging. Anything, let them help me. I will carry them, show them the way that we lay ambush and we will get them.
An agricultural expert, Dr. Samuel Nwokuga, says the River State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, does not have enough time to begin the rehabilitation of some agricultural facilities in the state. Recall that the State Sole Administrator, during his visit to Pabod Farm in Elimbu community, Atali Farm in Obiakpo, and the Songhai Farm in Thai local government areas, promised to begin revitalizing the moribund agricultural facilities. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu, Nwokuga, a lecturer in the Department of Agricultural Economics, University of Port Harcourt, believes that because of his limited time, the project cannot be adequately done.
We are supposed to have the information, like we are supposed to have the
I got to call project time frame. And project is no child's play. These are aggregations of collective activities put together, programs put together that forms a project. And you cannot just wake up overnight and say you are going to revitalize a place or a business that is lying fallow or that is dead without first of all understand the timing. Which time, what time do you have as an administrator to undertaking that task? If the time you have is limited, that project can never be executed properly. There is no project without time frame, and you must be faithful to that given time frame to deliver such a project.
Also speaking, an agricultural consultant, he advised, him to leave the projects for the suspended governor when he's reinstated. Also speaking, an agricultural consultant, Mr. Charles Okoro, hailed the administrator for identifying moribund agricultural facilities for rehabilitation.
I give kudos to the sole administrator because he being a non-indigenous and he was able to identify gold mines in the state which the indigenous were unable to identify and they revitalize. That alone is a kudos to the sole administrator. And what he needs to do, one, is that before he starts there should be a baseline study of what made that farm not to have thrived before. You have to identify that cardinal point.
He called on the administrator to involve private investors in the revitalization plan. The River State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, says he remains committed to upholding the values of service and leadership exemplified by former military administrator of the state, retired Colonel Dauda Komo. Administrator Ibas said this during a service of songs held in his honor of the late military administrator at the Ecumenical Center, Port Harcourt, yesterday. The Rivers Sole administrator described the late Komo as a principled and transformative leader whose tenure laid a strong foundation for progress. Retired Colonel Dauda Komo, who died on May 30, 2025 at the age of 65, served as military administrator of Rivers State from 1993 to 1996. Still to come, Senate President removed Senator Natasha as committee chairperson. Stay tuned.
Happy birthday. That is all.
Welcome back. Some stakeholders in the oil and gas sector are concerned that the delay in resuming operations at the Port Harcourt refinery will soon have economic implications that may affect the availability and price of fuel and diesel in the market. Recall that Port Harcourt Refinery Company embarked on turnaround maintenance on the 24th of May and promised to resume operations after 30 days of the maintenance. The chairman of the Independent Marketers Branch of Nupeng, Uche Udunwo, who spoke with correspondent Soebi Oruwari, said the labor union in the company is expected to hold talks with the management of the company to know the reasons for the delay.
We are supposed to have the information, like as it were, but it's not open. You know, the maintenance is not done in an open, in the operational part where everybody can see and all of that. You know, so what they do in the inner area, like I said, we're going to engage them this week. We want to know the extent, you know, so we can speak very deeply concerning it. But for now, what we know is that they've not come up to say, we are done with the maintenance. Maintenance is still ongoing according to them. When we talk about time, it's good that we hold on to whatever promises we have made.
Mr. Odunwo said the old stock at the Port Harcourt refinery will soon be depleted, which will likely increase the cost of diesel in the market.
Our concern, as it is, that the thing is beyond the number of days, as they had already said, and it's going to impact on the supply. Okay. You understand? It's going to impact on the supply. If they don't quickly round off with the maintenance, at a time, of course, products the level will go down, and when that happens, of course, you know what will follow now. Yeah. You know what will follow. So we are not very comfortable that now they are not done with the maintenance.
On his part, the national spokesperson of Petron, Joseph Obele, said the delay is connected with the Port Harcourt Refinery Company's decision to ensure that equipment meant for the fuel section of the refinery comes up when they resume operation.
That the reason for the delay
is that the management are insisting that Unit 12 and 14, which has to do with the PMS cracking section of it, should be up and running, because records have shown that operating the refinery without having the value for PMS is running right now. Cracking unit of PMS should be up and running, and a particular unit of the area 12 and 14 is what they are anticipating, and the requisition order has been given for that, and they are anticipating the delivery.
Dr. Obele, who is also an energy marketing lecturer at the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, explained that the possible economic impact of the delay will have on the oil and gas sector.
Debt stocks they were having in their reservoirs for, as it concerns DPK and AU, they are almost running out of stock right now as we speak. And if this happens, this would be that the only competition they are experiencing from the Dangote refinery will now be a thing of the past, and Dangote will now engage the market as the sole supplier. We anticipate that the price might be exploitative. This is why we are calling that in a no distant time, the old Fatako refinery that was shut down for a 30 days schedule, which is far beyond 30 days right now, should be coming up.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, candidate in the September 2024 governorship election in Edo, Mr. Asue Ighodalo, says he feels a deep sense of betrayal in the Supreme Court judgment against the governorship bid. Ighodalo, in his reaction to the Supreme Court verdict, said though he accepted the finality of the judgment, he cannot pretend that what was delivered amounts to justice. He described the election as a robbery that was deliberately coordinated and now tragically validated by the highest court in the land. Also, former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says he's disappointed with the Supreme Court's ruling. In a statement released on X, Obaseki said the PDP candidate Dr. Asue Ighodalo, along with his running mate Osarodion Ogie, were the true winners of the governorship election conducted on September 21, 2024. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has announced the replacement of suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan as chairman of the Senate's Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organizations. Akpabio, during plenary today, announced Senator Anyeka Mbasi as the new chairman of the committee. No formal explanation was provided for her replacement. As you may know, Senator Natasha has been on suspension, but Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court had ordered her reinstatement and mandated her to tender an apology to the Senate for her conduct. A total of 5,734 new lawyers have been called to the Nigerian bar, the highest in the nation's history. The call to bar ceremony took place at the Body of Benches complex in Abuja. Speaking at the event, former Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman of the Body of Benches, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, told the new Whigs that legal practice is a privilege that can be withdrawn if abused. Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Isa Chiroma, reaffirmed the school's commitment to high standards, but the record number of new entrants comes at a time of rising concern about the state of the legal profession in Nigeria. Recall that recently, former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and Senior Advocate of Nigeria warned that the legal profession is crumbling under the weight of corruption and ethical violations. Another senior advocate of Nigeria and a professor of law, Ise Sage, expressed fear that the bar may collapse under the weight of impunity. Meanwhile, a lawyer, Mr. Ndamzi Ekulo, has advised lawyers that newly called to the bar to uphold a high standard of professionalism in line with the Rules of Professional Conduct 2007. Ekulo spoke with correspondent Emeka Otuka.
My advice to those that have just been recently called to bar yesterday and today is that they maintain high level of professionalism. They should know that they are now watchdogs to the society. They should play pivotal roles to making the society a better place. They should never compromise their standards or encourage anyone to be on the wrong side of the law, because currently we have lawyers who are rascals in the system. But as new weeks, I believe they have inculcated in them discipline as lawyer affairs.
The presidency has denied reports that it has halted the issuance of 5-year multiple entry visas for U.S. citizens, describing such claims as false and misleading. In a statement today, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the Tinubu administration has not altered its visa policy toward American citizens and continues to grant 5-year non-immigrant visas in line with existing bilateral agreements and the principles of reciprocity. The presidency described the reports as misinformation and fake news. On the international scene, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and France President Emmanuel Macron have unveiled a one-in, one-out migrant deal, with a pilot to begin within weeks. Prime Minister Starmer says migrants arriving via small boats will be detained and returned to France in short order. In exchange, he says a different individual will be allowed to come to the UK under a safe route, and only if they have not already tied to cross illegally. On the news this evening, you heard 2 persons are now laying claim to the chairmanship position of Rivers ADC. A recently freed inmate has been arrested for armed robbery in Diobu, Port Harcourt. Experts have reacted differently to plans by the Rivers administrator to revitalize agricultural facilities. Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senate President, has removed Senator Natasha as chairperson of a committee. And on the foreign scene, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron have unveiled a new migrant deal. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.